It's an intriguing story. Sometime at the beginning of the 17th century, a shepherd attending his sheep near the town of Orvieto, that's between Rome and Florence in Italy, watched in horror as one of his sheep was bitten by a poisonous snake. Well, horror turned to joy as the sheep was restored to health after eating a certain plant. The shepherd, taken by the miraculous plant, tried it on people suffering all sorts of ailments and found that it worked. Girolamo Ferranti heard about the shepherd's discovery and concocted a potion supposedly containing the wondrous plant along with other herbs. In 1603, Ferranti obtained a license from the city of Orvieto to sell his medicine in the town square. He then went on to tour Europe with his potion, which became known as Orvietan, a nod to the place of its origin, and Ferranti was often referred to as l'Orvietan, the man who came from Orvieto. As the story goes, Ferranti swallowed any unknown poison offered to him and relied on his antidote to destroy the effect. A tall tale. But for 200 years, Orvietan was indeed revered as a protection from poisons and a general cure-all, including serving as a remedy for lovesickness. Supposedly, it was a secret concoction, but many formulations were revealed over the years. These contained as many as 26 ingredients, mostly herbs and other delights, such as viper flesh. That conjures up images of snake oil. Diverse versions of Orvietan were sold by mountebanks on street corners, but also became popular with the upper classes in spite of criticism by doctors at the time who were pushing the opium-containing Mithridatum or Theriac, their versions of cure-alls. The doctors and pharmacists feared their earnings would be undermined by the new kid on the block and labeled anyone selling Orvietan as a charlatan. It is impossible to say whether Orvietan had any sort of efficacy other than as a placebo. Some of the herbs could have acted as emetics or purgatives to rid the body of toxins in the food supply that at the time were plentiful. And now Orvietan has had a rebirth in the most appropriate place, the Italian town of Orvieto. Lamberto Bernardini is an Italian antique book collector who came across a 1697 version of an Orvietan formula and decided to recreate it as a digestive. He opened a shop, calling it l'Orvietan, when he sells his bottled liquor. The label is decorated with an image of the sun, a reference to the Sun King Louis XIV, who granted exclusive rights to sell Orvietan to Cristoforo Contighi, who had inherited the secret from Ferranti and advertised the product widely. Bernardini doesn't say what herbs he uses, but it seems to think that his liquor is more than just a digestive. In a video, he opines that maybe modernity went too far with our synthetic drugs, and that we can easily live well using things from 400 years ago. Seems to me that medicine has made some pretty big strides in the last 400 years, and we have progressed from putting viper flesh in our medicines. There's no evidence that Mr. Bernardini has included any snake oil in his l'Orvietan. Not literally, anyway. And that for today is our Cuppa Joe.